everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel today. This is Auntie Tambarambaa, also known as Tammy Klinger, sharing a Art by Marlene art journal page, which is lots of bright colours and a bit of black grunge as well. So I'll just go through the products that I've used. I used the Perfect Size Journal. I'm using the Back to Nature Arty paper pad, and I've selected that one. I love that piece of paper. And then I've selected the Love Essential Stamps, the Writings Essential Stamps, and the Something to Say Essential Stamps, because I was thinking about Valentine's Day and love and hearts, so that's what inspired this page. And then I've grabbed some paints. I've grabbed Happy, Ho Ho Ho, Mermaid. I actually include a bit of punk. I've used gold plated and black and white paint, or lace and pitch I should call it. Okay, so now I've grabbed out an art journal page, and this one had a bit of grunginess already on it because I just, when I had it down creating, it got some marks on it. So I'm just gonna, because I knew I wanted to do a bit of a grungy page, this is perfect because that will all get blended into the background. So I started with the that sheet of paper, and I drew a large heart on it just with a lead pencil, and I kind of drew 3/4 of the heart because I knew I wanted the heart to be not centered and be off of the page a little bit. It just makes the journal page look a bit more natural. So then I've just hand drawn a few smaller hearts, 3 or 4 as well, and cut those out, and they're all just different sizes. I didn't think too much about it. Okay, so I kind of placed them where I thought I might put them and then tucked them to the side. And first I grabbed out some of the black paint, which is pitch, and I've just popped it down in 5 areas, sort of staggered across my page. And then I've come straight in, I've just blended it with a dry brush, and then straight in with some Ballet as well, and a little bit of Ho Ho Ho. And I have just, not thought a lot about it, just joined them all up and popped them down on the page. Then I grabbed out a stencil. I love that one with the large circles. And I've come back in and popped a bit of more of black paint, just spreading it with my finger. And then I placed the stencil over the top and pulled off the paint through the stencil using a wet baby wipe. And I've continued to do that in a few areas where there was sort of, bits of black, and I just wanted to hide it all a little bit. Now I made sure I didn't cover the whole page. I tried to keep some white up the top and the bottom. And then I've come in with the other stencil that I seem to be using a lot. And I started with the red paint and did a few sponged with a makeup sponge through the dot part of the stencil, just joining with those red parts I'd already put onto the background. And then I did use the geometric liney area with the Ballet paint and just extended that out. And you can see it just sort of helped it all come together. Stencils are magic. Then I've come in with a bit of the Mermaid paint, and I'm just doing a bit of that mark making, just using Marlene's smaller brushes. I just love the way that looks. And I've basically taken the inspiration from my colours from the paper that Marlene had done. So she'd done a lot of the hard work, and so I just pulled the colours out that I could see in that. So that included adding a bit of the gold plated paint, which is beautiful, and using that to do a few marks as well. So now I've come in with some black archival ink and that circular heart from the love shape, and I've just kind of stamped that into a few areas. Now you don't need to get it perfect. That's the beauty of using having a grungy look to your page. Your stamping does not need to be perfect. I also came in with some small 3 circular dots that are in that love pack as well, and stamped those in black. And then I found that heart, funky heart from the writing set, and I did stamp that with some black ink, but I also stamped a little bit of the pink ink that came in the advent calendar from last year, 2022. So now I had a bit of fun with all of those, and now I'm just kind of placing my pieces. Oh, I did come in with a tiny bit of punk paint because I just find that lifts everything. I use it in every single page and it just lifts everything up. So I also added a little bit of Mermaid to the background as well. And you can see that I've mainly worked in sort of 3 sections. So I've got 3 lots of blue and 3 lots of gold, and that's just automatically something that I do. But it does give the eye sort of that cohesion and not confuse the eye. So then I have glued on my hearts using the sticky glue, and they are hidden at the moment, but I will fix that. They are hiding in there, but I'll fix that up. And then I've grabbed stamp set, what is that called? I can't find what it's called. Hang on, I've popped it somewhere. Something to Say is what it's called, and I've stamped lots of love randomly across the page. Then I've grabbed my black paint and I've just drawn scribbly freehand around each of the hearts. So the paint comes out quite thick, it looks beautiful, and I love that you can do with the paint with those fine tips. So basically I have just outlined those using going around it a few times. Don't just go around it once because it won't look right. You need to go around it a couple of times. And then just using my finger, I actually just spread some black paint around the edge to create a grungy border. And now I felt like that I needed to add a little bit more white back in just to match that scribble that's in the centre of that large heart. So I found a little scallop in some of Marlene's stickers and I cut that up and added that. And then I found I had leftover art is, because I must have used the rest of the quote for something and not the art is. So I don't throw anything away. So I've kept that. And then I've found some old alpha stickers and spelt out love. So it basically says art is love, lots of love. So now I'm coming in with some white paint and I'm just doing some dots. And again, you'll see I'll do this in 3 areas, and I really like the way that brings a bit more of that white into the page. And a step that I think I did miss was a few scribbles in the background that look just like, sort of like writing, but sort of like scribbles. So that's basically it. So a fun page today, a Valentine's Day page for Art is Love, and I'll just leave you with some of those background colours. Yeah, so thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I absolutely love reading them. Bye.